finally, she said, I think that's getting thick enough. I'm like, all right, shut it off because I'm just about wrapping up all the frying I'm doing. So we have dinner, come back out. The shit is in the bottom of the pan, hard as a rock.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's like it's solidified in the bottom of the pan. So I put the heat on real low to try to liquefy it, and then I tasted it and it was burnt.
Aw.
So I don't know if I was trying. I'm gonna have to ask my mom or my chef brother-in-law. I don't know if I was trying to do it. It was too much. Probably what I should have done is as soon as the pears came out, I should have cut the heat way down and just let it go a lot longer. I'm assuming that's my problem. So I'm like, oh damn, this is great. It would have been great too because it was like a blood, deep brownish red glaze. I'm like, all right. And Susie had made whipped cream with heavy cream and confectionery sugar, which was so good. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna salvage this, right? I'm like, what can we put on? Caramel sauce. So I just put the pear on the plate with I piped the whipped cream around it in a ring and put caramel drizzle on it. It's pretty good.
I don't know if this is on the list there, but the last of McKen's.
Ken?
Yeah, KENNS, it looks like. I can't read that.
MCK.
I can't read there. It's great.
McKenna. Yeah,
I'm gonna kick him.
Yeah,
there's no bond.
I'm looking. I just had a civil fracture.
Okay, thank you.
But I told him last night, I said, you're gonna be a crowd. I'm probably not feeding you like this.
Yeah.
I talked about it this morning. No, last night. And I said, that might just be burgers on the grill. Hopefully it's
It'll
nice.
probably be a nicer time.
Well, I'm hoping it's nice enough when you eat on the patio.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, tell them they're gonna have to wear name tags so I can figure out who's who.
It's a good idea though.
Yeah, I had to give that a thought. Dinner for 12. I suppose we could do like some pork loins. Because that's easy to do about a lot. You put it all in the oven, gets ready about the same time.
Yes.
They don't have it. Straits? Yeah. Okay. All the way up over here.
What's the name, Jamie?
Last one. Hager, I'm sorry, and Nick Watch. Right up here, man.
Big walk.
Big flop. Hager. HAGIE. Oh, is that? Man, I cannot. Sorry. Gee, I forgot.
Hagler?
Hagler or McLaughlin? In just let me say. I'm sorry.
All right. Good morning, folks. You're going forward without benefit of court-appointed attorney, correct? Thank you. All right, so we're going to adjourn these till June 26th.
There seems to be, it's not reasonable, not getting into his.
Yeah.
You need permission to give their contact information to Christine.
I'm going to give her card to them too.
Between now and the next week.
Come up with a plan. Okay. All right. That'll work. Questions? All right. That's the lady that's going to reach out to you. If you don't hear from her in a couple days, you reach out to her.
Sure.
All right. Have a good day. Good luck. Yep.
We're gonna get notices for you guys if you want to sit right in the lobby.
I'm not
Good point, right?
not offended.
At all, right? Good point.
I think it's funny.
If you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at, right?
Okay, this is cool. I've heard about this. I never put about a guy finding one in the field. You ever heard of a mad stone? They grow to baseball-sized proportions that formed when calcium clings to a foreign object like hair in the animal's stomach. The process is similar to how an oyster creates a pearl. If you cut one open, you'll find growth rings like that of a tree. He killed this buck in South Dakota, and this is what was in its stomach.
No way.
Wow, I believe it. Well, if you can get kidney stones, right?
Which is the same thing, right? Calcium.
Yeah.
I just heard an ad on the radio this morning, and it was supposed to be something that you take so you don't get kidney stones, right? It's supposed to be 99% effective. And they kept saying it was kidney, and I could never understand this. They said the name of the product like probably 6 times, and I could never understand if he was saying kidney top or kidney calm. I have no idea. Hello.
Maybe we put them on community work. I don't have many, but I'm starting to see some jump on. Thank you. Bye.
Nobody's here on that one because I was looking at it.
Well, already then.
If you don't mind.
Evergreen Judge, Evergreen Common Country.
That's a name?
But they always get most names.
No, yeah, the name is much fancier than the place. Their attorneys in Pittsburgh.
Where's it at?
Like Michigan Ave, way out
Okay.
behind where the strip club, that old strip club that we
Yep.
You guys just always got legs, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, we just demolished it. Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so no more dead bodies in the basement.
Excuse me?
What?
You say that like a bad thing.
Yeah, there was a time when there was
That place was,
terrible. Terrible. We don't miss it at all.
yeah, I would think not.
Back in the day when one of my most experienced partners was still representing the township, he had to go there. And I'm so glad it was you and not me. A lot of weird things to the township, but I am not going to.
It's funny, I heard some guys on the radio talking today about that they passed that no tips, no federal taxes on tips.
Mhm.
And, the one guy was like, yeah, that's gonna be great for waiters and waitresses. And he was asking the expert, so where's it go now? And he said, well, the devil's in the details because I think he said the Treasury Department has to determine which careers are going to
Mhm.
be,
Right.
exempt. And he says, so it remains to be seen if those people that work in those dark, dingy places on stages are going to, and the other guy's like, I never even thought about strippers. He said, I just thought about wait staff.
There's lots of people who go to.
Also, things it's personnel.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get it cleaned up so they don't have to come in. Because otherwise it's gonna have to hire somebody here and avoid the expense if they can get things cleaned up, which they're working. But that's why I put it on the July date, because I didn't think like 2 weeks is really enough, so I put it down.
So still do the, this one by Zoom?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fine. Thank you.
Hey, can you let Dan know to jump on Zoom if he's gonna be my Zoom clerk, my Zoom MIDC, please? We have somebody, whenever he's ready, no hurry. All right, thanks. Mhm.
That's good.
Courtney and Bush, they're just adjourned.
Courtney and Bush.
It's the Courtney.
Guys see that? Courtney and Bush, BUSS.
Oh, Courtney Bush. I thought it was like two different people.
It is.
The next one's, what is that, Laverne?
Yeah. Same property. Sequential tickets. I was figured it'd be non-parties.
You want me to scratch them, or do you want to scratch?
I got him. Courtney and Bush.
Oh, gracious.
Yeah, you did.
Those kind of conversations make me miss my days as a municipal attorney fighting over zoning.
He said with sarcasm in his voice.
This is America. I can do whatever I want with my property. See, your neighbor also lives in America. He may feel a little different about you infringing on his property. Was that Thomas Jefferson? Wasn't that his famous, like, where my rights start and stop kind of?
Yeah, my rights stop at the end of your nose or something like that.
It's kind of, yes, we all have rights, but they kind of intersect with each other. Oh,
So this is just to see if the complaint can come up here, right? Or,
are you talking to?
yeah,
No.
these are final three.
Yeah, because they're gonna go get a nuisance abatement if they don't get it fixed by that day. It's a property issue. I speculate, but I imagine it's one of those, you gotta get these rocks out of here, the same pile of rocks, just move them. Wait, we moved them.
Playing that game.
When drones first became like affordable and the city started figuring out like how they can be used, a bunch of those townships, like villages that we represented up in Lapeer and like Stanlack and Tustola, they were coming in and getting
Yours?
both from me.
No.
Client copy. But they would go get the administrative warrants to fly over like blighted properties and like some of the farmland stuff. So it's great because those things are huge and a lot of those people are extremely well armed and distrustful of government in general. But when you start looking at the videos of some of the 8, 10 acre parcels. I don't even know how accumulate just that much
What they
stuff.
got.
You
Yeah,
notice that they don't notice that it's a fine.
but I mean, like school buses and like boats, like with missing chunks of the hull. I'm like, how do all these things even get here?
I got a buddy of mine that he's done really, really well for himself with rental properties and hustler. So for years, he's bought stuff at the auctions, cars, motorcycles, lawnmowers, fix them up, flip them, he's done really, really well for himself. And he's 70 years old now. And I've been telling him for the longest time, it's like, Rick, man, you got to quit buying all these projects. You're never going to get them all done. I bet he's got upwards of 20 motorcycles on his property.
All half.
And probably only a half a dozen of them go on the road. A lot of them are like, yeah, that's the same one as I had when I was 14 years old. I'm going to get working. And he actually says, he said, I know it's a sickness. He said, I know it is. He said, but I just can't stop.
It's not like I mean, it is an addiction of
It's an
sorts, but
It's an addiction.
it's more or less a,
And it's not, a lot of it is just because for so many years, I can make money on it.
Yeah.
Right?
you can't get the hustle, you can't knock the hustle out of somebody.
He's got that mentality, but he doesn't get back in the back of his brain where it says, but I'll never get time to do all the projects, And I keep telling, he's got 2 daughters. I keep telling him, man, don't do this. Don't do this to the girls.
Cause that does.
Because all they're going to do is they're just going to call a scrapper and say, come get it all.
If I was handy enough to tell you that I could take things off of one lawnmower, motorcycle and use it on another, I get people like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they're just good enough mechanics. They're like, none of this is worthless to you. I mean, to me, it's worthless.
Oh, I'd like that with other stuff though. I'm not kidding you. I could fill a bushel basket with string and lightweight rope pieces, right?
Case for anything.
I buy a bag of cracked corn for my chickens. That string goes on a hook because every once in a while you got to tie something up, man.
It's true.
Scott, because we threw away
Containers.
our.
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff like that too, actually. I just don't get too hoardy.
And do you remember when Meyer used to sell snow blowers and
Yeah,
furniture
yeah.
way back in 20, 30 years ago? Yeah, they sold their snow blowers and it worked this whole entire time. But then the rubber came off later, so he got rid of that, bought him a new one. But the new one, the tires are plastic.
Oh,
The old one, the
Rubber.
tires are rubber. He took the old ones
Yeah,
off and he's like, because I looked at him, he goes, they're rubber and they'll last, the other ones won't.
that's right.
Okay.
I've got tires and wheels hanging up all over. But you know what? And I get grief, my daughter gives me grief all the time. It's like, Dad, really? I'm like, I know how many times I fixed something of yours because I have a piece of something in inventory. Right.
At some point, I think my father-in-law and I are gonna be forced by our wives to go through all of our firearm inventory for that same thing though, because we're starting to get to, especially long guns. We've probably got a couple dozen
Yeah.
that have got parts or something on them, but haven't been fired, haven't been used, like, it's broken, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
you two are gunsmiths, you can't fix it. Yeah, I know, but I need to take this off. It's just, there's always something else a little more important to do.
I like finding them that are just ugly. They're rusted up, they're beat up, whatever, and just make them look good again. Yeah.
I need to get a hobby. Do something to focus on. I think we're pretty darn close.
Man, I'll tell you what, I got a third of a box of files.
I got it.
We got people on Zoom? What's your name?
Dion is the last name, D-I-O.
DIO?
Had a lot, we got a lot of her. So Caitlin still has a decent list, but Dan, Peter and I have knocked out the Dan just trained Peter basically. All right, on the Zoom, so are any of them waiting for, they do want counsel? Oh,
Yeah, right. Not in a problem.
Name?
Look like.
Blanc?